The king is dead. Long live the king. Yes, the Uber adventure bike is completely revamped. I'm of course talking about the BMW R1300GS. The new Beamer is more powerful, more techy, and lighter, and BMW is hoping that these changes keep it ahead of the competition in the big adventure bike wars. So, is the R1300GS the bike to get if you are looking for an adventure motorcycle? Stay tuned, and if you're enjoying the content, please help the channel out by subscribing, liking, sharing, and all that jazz. The big GS has been a bestseller ever since Long Way Round showed all those cruiser, crotch rocket, and dirt bike riders of the early 2000s that the way to have max fun on two wheels is to try to ride a 500-pound hunk of metal across Siberia. And adventure riders, read old guys with a lot of money, have been snapping up GSs ever since. But the truth is that the previous model, the R1300GS, was the heaviest motorcycle in the class, and was getting out-horsepowered by the Italians, the Austrians, and gasp, even the Americans. And so the Germans decided to do something about this travesty, and voila, the new R1300GS. I'm not going to focus on every detail here, but rather go over the main changes and what they mean to adventure riders. If you want to nerd out on the full specs, BMW has them all on their website. The engine is new and is exactly 1300cc. Horsepower is up to 145 and torque is a class-leading 110 pound-feet. But the Ducati, KTM, and Harley still make more horsepower, you say? Doesn't matter. This bike makes more torque down low, which translates to better real-world performance on the street. Even the overweight 1250 model with its 136 horsepower could pull away from the 150 horsepower Pan America off the line or in a roll-on. Yes, the Hog could punch out 150 ponies, but when they're sitting way up in the rev range, and they are, you don't have that much access to them. This new engine, in addition to adding 46cc, continues BMW's tradition of grunty boxers which pull like a train from low in the rev range, giving the rider access to power without having to wring the bike's neck. Personally, that's the way I like to ride adventure bikes on and off-road. I like the engine revving low. This is not an inline-4 sport bike. These things are supposed to be able to tour across the continent in a relaxed manner and lug off-road if needed. Despite the fact that the Beamer doesn't have the most power on top, it is probably going to keep up or leave behind other big ADV bikes with higher horsepower figures in everyday real-world riding. Speaking of the Boxer Twin, the other advantage of this engine configuration is its low center of gravity. Despite the fact that the outgoing R1250GS was one of the heaviest adventure bikes on the market, it never felt that way because a lot of the mass was located down low. This is a big advantage on and off-road, as it gives the rider the illusion that they are aboard a lighter vehicle. Easier to transition, muscle into corners, and lift up if dropped. However, there is no getting away from the fact that the big GS has been suffering from middle age spread. Did you know that the first R80GS from 1980 had a wet weight of 462 pounds, basically the weight of the modern KLR 650? By the time Ewan and Charlie were slogging their way through Asia in Long Way Round, their R1150GSs tipped the scales at 503 pounds full of fuel. And the bike just kept growing, with the outgoing R1250GS weighing 551 pounds, while the GS Adventure was the heaviest ADV bike on the market, crushing scales at 598 pounds. Yes, they had a low center of gravity, but come on, 600 pounds is too much. At that point, you have a full-dress tourer wearing an ADV bike's Halloween costume. So with this model, is the trend finally reversed? Yes. The bike looks visibly smaller and slimmer, and it is, as the weight of the base model is now listed at 523 pounds ready to ride. What's even more crucial is that it is lighter than any of its competition. It undercuts the shaft-driven Triumph Tiger 1200 by 12 pounds, but is also lighter than the chain-driven bikes like the Multistrada, Pan America, Super Adventure, and Africa Twin Adventure Sports. Seeing as shaft drive usually adds weight, it's an impressive feat of engineering, shaving 28 pounds off your motorcycle while keeping the same 19-liter 5-gallon fuel tank. Range and fuel consumption are supposed to be exactly the same as the R1250GS, by the way. Other details are laid out on the website with an impressive list of standard options which should make touring on this thing very pleasant indeed. There's also a very long list of options with radar adjustable cruise control and blind spot warning system standing out. All the premium bikes are getting these lately. Also notable is a feature BMW got from Harley of all companies, and that is the adaptable ride height suspension which lowers the seat when the bike slows down and comes to a stop. Seat heights on various models vary from 32.3 to 34.2 inches depending on what saddle and suspension are spec'd on the model. These tall seats can be intimidating for some riders, and BMW surely wants riders of all inseam lengths to write a check for a big GS. All of the usual electronics are included on the new bike, including 4 standard rider modes, Rain, Road, Eco, and Enduro, as well as 3 Pro options, Dynamic, Dynamic Pro, and Enduro Pro. The looks of the GS models have always adhered to the form follows function philosophy. These motorcycles are meant for riding, not winning beauty contests. Still, I appreciate that the new 1300 is visibly smaller than its predecessor. The previous model was looking decidedly bulky. The X-shaped light is going to be divisive, but no more divisive than previous asymmetrical designs. And the fit and finish looks to be typical BMW fare, meaning seriously premium. Models? This is no doubt the most important motorcycle in BMW's lineup, and as such, BMW is offering plenty of options. If you're staying on pavement, the white model is decidedly sport touring oriented. The trophy model is equipped with all of the off-road goodies. The triple black is more of a blank canvas for accessorizing as you like, and the option 719 Tramontana is green, and also blinged out with the premium goodies for individualists. Clearly, whatever you ride and whatever you do on 2 wheels, there is an R1300GS for you. So how much? Depends. The base models start at around 20k US or just over 25 Canadian. And end? Well, if you have to ask, you can't afford it. I can definitely see fully accessorized models with the heated seats, radar, bags, electric windshields, and whatnot coming in the mid-30s in Canadian funds. Worth it? I will say yes, if you want the king. Let's be real. BMW has some advantages over the competition. Shaft drive, which only Triumph and Yamaha currently possess in the big bike market, soon to be joined by the new Moto Guzzi Stelvio. The flat twin, which nobody else possesses, and which makes the already lighter than the competition R1300GS feel lighter still. And BMW's unique suspension, which keeps it from pitching about during hard braking and acceleration. A very impressive package. If this bike rides like the specs suggest it should, and it should, given how long it's been in development, I foresee BMW holding on to its crown as the adventure motorcycle king for the foreseeable future. The Germans know how to make a big adventure bike, and this thing looks ready to rock. It's going to be expensive, but so is all of its competition. Are you interested in this bike, and do you think that it's going to be the best big ADV bike on the market? Please share your thoughts in the comments below, adventure on, and may the spokes be with you.